By the power conferred on me as the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic Government in Exile. And after you have voted for the open gate for the Biafra freedom, which is 100% vote, this charter has become a law. The Biafra Helsinki Declaration.
So a special thanks to all my viewers from within Nigeria. You are watching from, Lagos, Edo State, or Anambra, or Enugu, or probably you're watching from Imo or Abia, or whatever state you're watching from, either from the south, or from the east, or from the north, north or southwest of the Republic, whichever state in this country, in as much you're watching this video from Nigeria, or you've been watching my videos from Nigeria, a special shout out to you. And for those of you watching from some of these African countries, Ghana, South Africa, Mozambique, Ethiopia, and all of that, and people watching from European countries, I really want to appreciate all of you guys. You understand? I welcome you to my channel today, Discovery Africa TV. Today is the first day of December, so I want to say Happy New Month to every of my viewers and every of the Biafrans are watching this video. So please let us receive your emoji, your new month emoji at the comment section. You understand? Just continue to comment the new month. So happy new month, happy new month, happy new month. You all know what is actually happening. And like I said, I promised I'm going to be doing several videos in respect to what is ongoing in Finland. So you all know tomorrow is December 2nd, and that is the day everybody is actually been waiting for. So once again, a special welcome to everybody watching this video from this YouTube channel, Discovery Africa TV. So I welcome you, lovers of freedom, all hail Biafra. And you all know the convention actually started some days ago, like 2 days ago. Today is the third day, the day 3, you understand? So I just want you to just stay calm and stay connected to the end of the video. Now guys, you all know that when US election was to be conducted, there are several people that actually supported Donald Trump, and one of them is Simon Ekpa, and he didn't even hide this at all. He made it understand and made people understand the reasons why he want to support Donald Trump, because he believed Donald Trump would actually love justice, and he want things to go the way it ought to go, you understand? And fortunately, it actually, at the end of the day, election was conducted. Donald Trump won the US presidential election. You understand? So congratulations. Let me just receive your new month emoji. This is December 2024. This is Sunday. You understand? So good morning to everyone. Probably you're watching this video on a Sunday afternoon or evening, or you're watching it on Monday, the 2nd day of December, or the 3rd day of December. Whichever day you're watching this video, hour or time, a special shout out to you guys and happy new month. Let me just use that emoji. Just drop that emoji. Just drop your new month greetings, and a special shout out to all my Biafrans watching this video. Now, we all know gradually we are moving closer to the end of the convention. It started 2 days ago, and we've been receiving several reactions in respect to that convention. You could see the happy moment, you could see the joyous moment in the face of all the participants. Like I said, a number of you are not privileged to go anyway, so don't feel bad. You understand? No, I actually received a comment where someone was saying he want to vote, and I have several questions on my comment section. Now let me just answer those few questions before I will play today's video. Now, a number of people are asking about the voting, and now as at the time of doing this video, today is 1st day of December 2024, so the voting has actually ended. So that was what was said. It ended last month, November. So the voting has ended, and all of what we are waiting for in progress is the announcement of the election result. Some majority of the election was actually conducted online, while some are conducted physically, you understand? And more than 50 million, more than 60 million, Biafrans actually voted, you understand, for this referendum and for this republic, you understand, guys? So the number of things I'm going to play out in this video, you understand, is still part of what Samuel Ekpa said in a Finland convention, and it happened in 2023. And I'm going to trace it back to all of this fight for freedom in this Finland convention 2024, guys. So I'll leave you to the rest of the video to watch. You understand? Happy Sunday and happy new month to everybody. You understand? So guys, watch the video and subscribe. This is Discovery Africa TV. What a joyous moment everywhere. You could see the speech of Samuel Ekpa today is going to blow everybody, you understand? So guys, I'll leave it to the rest of the video to watch. And as you're watching, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and drop your comment. Happy new month once again to all our friends watching. Thank you guys. I will see you at the end of the video, and we're going to say some things, and I end the video there.
All this happened before our very own eyes. The deadline to claim the dead or plan for mass burial of the slaughtered by government agent, many of these people had been killed without any families knowing about it. When did you hear about mass killing in Biafra since we took over this government? We have stopped them with superior firepower. Biafrans have stopped Nigeria from this atrocity with more superior firepower. We will continue to add to our weaponry. After this Finland convention, our agenda is to make sure that we bring down every sophisticated weapon you can think of. We can lay our head on. Subsequent and repeat indiscriminate military police killing and burning of homes in Imo State, Abia, Ebonyi, Enugu, and other parts of Biafra land have occurred without any meaningful condemnation from Ohaneze nor the governors. Anambra State was relatively spared from the killing from June 2021 until November 6, 2021 election. The Buhari administration deployed over 3,400 security forces to Anambra State, with the usual order, shoot any Biafra sympathizers. As the administration was determined to conduct an election for state governor that many believed was a sham arrangement, to impose a governor on the state and giving a historic backdrop of the declaring winner even when election do not take place. I want you people to understand that today, Hope Uzodinma of Imo State already have a result of the election that is to be conducted this November. Even at that, we will stop election in Imo State. In addition, politicians have notoriously disappointed by not serving the people, rather, they siphon public fund for their personal use. The result is lack of infrastructure development and deterioration of the few existing ones. All this military deployment in the southeast are happening in the face of unimaginable insecurity and wanton loss of life in the north, orchestrated by Boko Haram, ISWAP, Mayete Allah, Fulani herdsmen, bandit, and etc., etc. But the President Buhari administration was not interested in deploying the military to the north against ethnic Fulani, regardless of their criminality, at least not to the extent of killing them. Rather, the military and police, predominantly from the southern Nigeria and the Middle Belt, are frequently the victim of the attack. And there was never a military or police revenge mission on the communities this attack occurred. We are frequently told that a large number of them have repented, which makes way for them to be rewarded with placement in the military, police, and other agencies. The regime employed the tactics of minimizing the crime of Fulani ethnic group, for example, describing kidnap and the slaughter of people as business, while at the same time exaggerating and mischaracterizing as criminal other group protests against Buhari failure. Citizens of the world have a right to express their displeasure with their government, and the most reasonable country respond with dialogue and engagement. Between December 2001
and June 2002, we watched with bewilderment as Argentinians were on the street daily until they got a president that was sensitive to their aspiration. During those 6-month period, at least 4 presidents took office in Argentina and resigned in response to popular opinion. Power of the military and police was not unleashed on the people. But Nigeria, the story is different. I want you to understand today that even at the power center of Nigeria, they have recognized and branded me as the governor of the Southeast. Certain segments of society were comfortable with Buhari's catastrophic humanitarian disaster and senseless loss of life. Throughout the administration, there was no coherent and sustained voice that asked the president to resign, which understandably was linked to Nigeria ethnic politics. Even though Buhari was a terrible president for the generality of Nigeria, he executed the Fulani agenda without question. Yet, people talk about one Nigeria. No country will be one without inclusion, equity, and justice. The worst part of it is that when this issue is being discussed, you don't see any representative of Biafra in the table. Unleashing your military on the people you are supposed to protect instead of engaging on dialogue and making sustained effort to address grievances has the opposite effect. You cannot claim one Nigeria while at the same time exclude segment of the country from the benefit of belonging to the same country. When you choose marginalization as a tool, you have wittingly and unwittingly signed up to fail. Olusegun Obasanjo has not always been pro-Igbo. In his first administration as civilian head of state, 1999 to 2003, he played the marginalization game against the Igbo and chose Andy Uba to play the role Loreto Onochie played for Buhari today. As an assistant to the president, these people would readily spit at agitation for Igbo interests. And Andy Uba was the tool used against Wazirike. But all that changed in Obasanjo's second term. He headed to Gani Fawemi admonition that Obasanjo could not be serious with development with his continual marginalization of the Igbo despite their creativity and industry. Subsequently, Obasanjo appointed Charles Soludo and Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala as the governor of the Central Bank and Minister of Finance, respectively. Both esteemed Igbo son and daughter were instrumental to economic policies and reform that ultimately qualified and earned Nigeria debt forgiveness tools, fed up much needed fund for development. The reason these people are not supporting Biafra today, which they will never support and we're not expecting them, is because they are corrupt. Many of us living abroad have seen that many countries that have embraced equity and justice are doing well. United States of America, Russia, Australia, and China are some of the countries with intimidating mix of talent and natural resources, which they have deployed to optimum effect. Not all developed countries are endowed with natural resources, but in the absence of abundant natural resources, those have that, choosing to tap into these human resources, inclusiveness, equity, justice, and utilization of right talent for the right purpose are also doing phenomenally well. This country includes Japan, Singapore, Israel, New Zealand, and the EU countries. Having natural resources endowment give additional tools in your toolkit. And this is the reason why countries with natural resources should be doing well. I want to inform you all today that immediately Biafra is declared, the development of Biafra will kickstart the next day. Yes. By the way, that is the Minister of Urban Development. I want you all to understand that my speech may be long, but it is worth listening to. The United Arab Emirates, UAE, provide a classic example of the role of abundance of natural resources in development. We will beat them hands down. UAE, for example, provide an inevitable case of leaders with desire to serve the people. And this is what the Biafra Republic government in exile has demonstrated. Within a very short period of time, because of the leaders we have achieved something that the Biafra agitation have not achieved for the past 20 years. We have demonstrated that we are well organized. Our government is one of the best government in exile so far from the history. I have researched very well on many government in exile, and I'm telling you, nobody has done half of what we did, or what we are doing. Despite abundant natural and human resources, Nigeria continued to struggle, continued to go into debt, because it was never the idea of the founders to have a developed Nigeria. Nigeria is not meant for progress. Now, it is our duty to even crash it the more. The only agenda we have now is to crash the economy, to crash the security apparatus, to crash everything called Nigeria within Biafra territory. By the majority vote and by the majority of Biafra people, we can see today from our seat at home, we have overwhelmed Nigeria within Biafra land. After this successful Finland convention, where a lot of things will start happening any moment from this minute, after this reading this speech. The foundation of Biafra freedom will start any moment from now. Because we are going to adopt a historic charter that will set the pace for our freedom. Despite claims of one Nigeria, there is rarely a national agenda that is not ethnically engineered by the ethnic group in power to surcharge other ethnic groups. Having cattle roaming the highway, low-waste township, villages, farmland, and destroying people's livelihood, and the worst of all, killing the people if they complain, is beyond imagination and definitely at variance with equity, justice, fairness, and building a united, prosperous country. I want you to understand that nobody else will come for your aid. We have learned to come for our own aid. There is nothing in this world like knowing your right. I know this right and I'm using it judiciously. the concept of equity. Let's say that equity and justice is said to prevail when you have a system that works. Everyone, regardless of who they are, but very often that is not the case. So you have the oppressed who suffers under the extant instrument of law behavior pattern imposed by the oppressors. When the oppressed come to realization of gross injustice meted out to them and are willing to agitate for remedies, things begin to change. Of course, in Nigeria own, you need hammer. And the hammer is directed at the leaders from the Biafra region. We are using the hammer on them. After today, we are going to drop the hammer and take chisel. What is that big stuff? If Hope Uzodinma is watching me now, because I know he's watching. If he's watching me now, tell him that after this particular convention, we are dropping hammer. And what we are going to, who is going to tell me the name of this big? Ike, right? Thank you. The oppressors acknowledge injustice, intentional or not, and are willing to negotiate for remedies to address injustices, usually through reform and instrument of law. But in Nigeria, it is not possible. Else, oppressed people demand for right and privilege, and the refusal of the oppressors to acknowledge this demand lead to violent confrontation. This is the route the Nigeria government has chosen. The route of killing and destruction as mechanism. When I mean today, I mean in this hall today. Because it was deeply thought out intention to advance humanity. After over 200 years, it is still the Constitution. It has undergone several amendments, many of which in response to agitation. Over the years, to make it more just, more inclusive, compare that with how many constitutions the zoo has had in its 60s years, in the 60 years plus, short life. Ironically, none of the zoo constitution come close to the noble goal of advancing humanity. This, what you have today, is called the military decree. They changed the name to constitution. Rather, a shameless charade aimed at subjugating the people by favor ethnic Fulani. Where Fulani has no resources, Biafra has resources, and they have it in exclusive list. You can't utilize it. They take it from you, they become the MD of Nigeria Petroleum Corporation. They lead and head every department using the oil and the natural resources from your land. I was watching a Ebonyi State governor who was asked, how much do you generate from salt as the salt of the nation? He doesn't know. He said, it is Abuja people that knows how much they make in salt. Because it is in the exclusive list. Fulani doesn't have land to know if they have the salt, they are going to remove it from the exclusive list. Yet, in state of the north, there is gold. They mine the gold for themselves. And no Nigeria government, federal government, poke nose into it. But the state governor in Ebonyi State doesn't know how much they make in the salt, from the salt. This is very outrageous revelation that should wake the subconsciousness of every Biafran, because it is happening in other states as well, not just in Ebonyi. There are states in Biafra land that are oil-producing states. They don't know what is going on. In the face of brazen display of injustice, subjugation, marginalization, discrimination, deprivation, it is abnormal not to agitate. And that's what we're doing today. The course it takes depends on how the oppressors choose to respond. Whether they choose to send negotiators in honest effort to address the issue, or they double down and send the military and police. Today, they have tried to bribe me with trillions of naira. Instead of addressing the reason, I am telling you the fact, they have, just last week, I got the information that they are ready to make me the richest man in Africa. I said to them, does it mean that you people are not even interested in releasing Nnamdi Kanu? Because that is what it means. I gave a simple demand: release Nnamdi Kanu, and then we can see how far we can go with that. And that particular demand continues to stand. Otherwise, Biafrans will continue to hit you the hardest way. As it turned out, our hosts for this convention, Finland, fought their own war for their own freedom. Most people of this world fight to the end when faced with threat to their survival and well-being. You can't call me a terrorist and then praise Mandela. You can't call me a terrorist and make Gandhi a legend. However, my dream is to become more powerful than them. Because I know Nigeria is the most complex, complicated country, and I am fighting it in the same complicated way. I told them I will remain the equation they will never solve. Some of you may not understand. The reason why you are in Finland today is not just a coincidence. It is something that God has planned for many years. I don't care how the Webster or Oxford Dictionary define agitation. Based on our life experience, I stand here today to define agitation as a natural adaptation to threat to our survival and well-being. So it is normal to agitate. What is abnormal is not agitating in the face of threat to one's survival and well-being. Woe unto those that have chosen to keep mute while millions of their compatriots undergo unimaginable human treatment on the scale Nigeria has imposed on our people. And there is many such people. During our preparation for the opening of the Biafra Administrative Office in Baltimore, United States, we wrote letters to the community. One church, Trinity Church, Baltimore, asked us, "You are not the only people from that country in this church. Why is it that you are the only one talking about it?" Because the people in the church never cared. They are in the United States and they are living comfortably well. By the time the pastor saw the scale of the government-sponsored genocide in the land, he was overwhelmed and asked, "Does the U.S. government know about this?" The U.S. ambassador to Nigeria, Mary Beth Leonard, should answer the question. Of course, these are the people that are corrupt. If Finland is a corrupt country, by now, a lot of things would have happened. Or you know. And I will be in this country and liberate Biafra. Also, the U.S. Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, whose first action as Secretary of the State was to remove Nigeria from the list of countries where Christians are persecuted. That should answer the question as well. I want to remind you that Secretary Blinken removed Nigeria while he was on the way to Nigeria. He didn't even arrive in Nigeria before he removed Nigeria from the list. That's a sign of corruption. Of course, when he came to Finland, we submitted a letter to him. Whether he received the letter is a story for another day. But we submitted the letter to him. The U.S. government knows about the killing, but they prefer not to do anything and not to give it publicity. Because we have researched what America did during the Biafra War, and we know what to do. And what we have to do is to continue to fight Nigeria with everything we have. And the way we are going to fight Nigeria is not the way we fought Nigeria in 1967. We are fighting them systematically. We will see them, they will not see us. They understand that publicizing it will result in the citizens forcing them to do something. It was in response to publicity of the Biafra War in 1967 to 1970 that Bruce Merrock, aged 20 and a student at Columbia University, New York, on May 29, 1969, set himself ablaze at the UN building in New York City. The UN, Bruce, shortly after he died from the burns injury, as a 20-year-old and her of an infant family, Merrock Fortunoff, he had a bright future ahead of him. He did not have to do what he did. But seeing the senseless massacre of Biafran during the Nigeria-Biafra Civil War was more than he could handle. And we dedicated our administrative office in the United States to him. He could not understand why the world, and in particular the United States of America, could let extreme wickedness go on for so long as obnoxious image of man, inhumanity to man, as exemplified by death and destruction, and millions of Biafran children dying from kwashiorkor were shown on television around the world. This something that people did not know was that America was actually doing something, but we didn't know about it. The people piloting the Biafra war didn't have knowledge about what was going on. The United States had to turn down Gowon requests not to send aid to Biafra. Things were actually turning to the Biafra side. Gowon had knowledge because of the saboteurs that are close to the American government, but Ojukwu didn't have access. So as this was going on, when Gowon knew that America was turning its back, he hurriedly deceived the people on ground to give up the war. And that was actually what happened. So America, although they started reacting late, but whether they were actually doing something for Biafra, yes, we have come across the secret document. The difference is that this time around, we are going to fight Nigeria systematically. We're not going to give Nigeria the opportunity to go into a conventional war. We're going to kill them slowly, until we declare Biafra. And that is why the legitimization of Nigeria within Biafra have started. And we are going to crush every state government within Biafra land until they will have no money to pay salary. It is called, why they give us a blockade and we're dying in hunger, we're going to give them economic strangulation. After this convention in Finland, we are going to focus to make sure that no secretariat in Biafra land will operate. It will become a duty for every forces in Biafra to make sure that every secretariat is neutralized. Bruce probably become aware of the Biafra-Nigeria conflict because it was covered by the media, and consequently, he did the unthinkable. Many believe helped to force the Nixon administration hand to end the war. But unknown to him, and even to date, nobody, not the US, EU, AU, nor the UN, want to go against British interests. You see this wave of change that is now blowing all over the world. It is for Biafra, believe me. God created us and impacted us with exceptional wisdom and knowledge to make it happen. While the 1967-70 war ended, what did not end is the killing. But this time, it is not being reported on the news. It is as though there is international conspiracy not to talk about ongoing conflict in Nigeria. For more than a decade now, Biafra are once again agitating for freedom. What was initially motivated by agitation against marginalization has transformed to agitation for self-preservation, as the Nigerian government, under the control of ethnic Fulani, appears to be pursuing an agenda to increase Fulani population and change the demography of Nigeria. This agenda has led to the Nigerian government encourage Fulani invasion of communities and slaughtering everyone, men, women, adults, and children on their way. They kill children and cut off their head. They kill pregnant women, open their belly, and bring out their fetus and cut them into pieces. And these have been pattern community after community, and one attack after one another. Now that the world has seen similar killing in Israel, after Hamas invaded of Israel on October 7, 2023, most people are wondering how someone could unleash this extreme cruelty on innocent Israeli. As a matter of fact, in Nigeria, what happened in Israel that resulted to Israel bombardment of Gaza is happening every day. Nobody is reporting it. In Ebonyi State, for example, the governor then, Dave Umahi, came to see how they slaughtered the people, and he cried on camera. No international community, no international media has actually reported it. As you listen to me, you may be compelled to think that I am making it up. Understandably, so because it is too cruel, too gruesome to be true. You may further query, as the pastor I earlier mentioned wondered, if it were true, why is it not in the news? This is exactly why the suspicion of international conspiracy makes sense. I remember having come in contact with some of the Finnish journalists. They always tell you, we can't verify those images. This is exactly why the suspicions will continue to grow, because there is nowhere else in the world that this manner of despicable act could be going on and it would not make headlines. The atrocities don't get mentioned in the news, and major social media platforms like Google and Meta forbid using their platform to share these images and videos. Nevertheless, they have managed to find their way to the internet. A simple Google search will lead you to a trove of a glory image and videos that would almost certainly repulse you. So, We have one of the worst government-sponsored violence in human history unfolding in Nigeria, and it is not being discussed anywhere. Not on the news, and definitely not in the UN. Many people have accused Nigerian atrocities of complicity, but the government has not demonstrated any meaningful interest in stopping the atrocities, which often within the reach of military unit or close, enough for the military to be able to prevent or stop them from happening. It is as though the government has come to accept these atrocities as norms and what appears to be unacceptable to them when community organize themselves. At the time, parts of Biafra territory have been ongoing military invasion, and people are being killed every day. Noteworthy are Izu River massacre under Governor Peter Obi, Onitsha Mpo massacre under Governor Obiano, Ogbaro massacre under Soludo, Oyibo massacre under Wike, and the list can go on and on. In a democracy, power deprived from voting strength, one would think that politicians would work hard to preserve their voting population, but as we have seen very often, politicians in Biafra land have been instruments and tools for elimination of their own people. They appear too willing to indulge in the behavior because their mandate are not to deprive from the people, rather from the commitment to serve as agent of the Fulani Caliphate. Most people of the world will fight to the end when faced with threat in their survival and well-being. So it is natural to agitate for the betterment of our people. And the only way we can be better is when we govern ourselves. I know that you are tired, but believe me, we are almost there. It is only through agitation that one may achieve the concept of equity and justice. Given the scale and the depth of issues, Biafra freedom is the preferred realistic solution. Our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, famously said, we have crossed the Rubicon. Today, here in Helsinki, through the instrument of Biafran self-referendum and the Helsinki Declaration, we take another decisive step that makes us closer to the actualization of Biafra freedom and Biafra independence.